Appreciate you guys coming out this afternoon. This is this particular news conference has kind of been a long time coming. I was hoping to be able to announce a coach a little sooner, but it took a while to get the right fit, the right group together. But I'm proud to announce today that we will have that. I'm also proud to announce we're here at the United Regional Hospital, and we've got a partnership that continues from the former team to our new team. We have a partnership with United Regional Sports Medicine. They are going to provide the training and care for our players this year. They have a top quality staff. We're proud to announce that they'll be with us. But the main reason we're here is we have a head coach and defensive coordinator in James Kerwin, and we've got our head trainer in Jeremy Woodward, and we've got an offensive coordinator, Rod Miller. And these guys all have experience. I'd like to bring James up to talk and kind of answer some questions about his experience. He's been a lot of places. He's done a lot. He's an IFL veteran. And he's done a lot of winning and a lot of different backgrounds and different situations. He's going to bring that experience and that skill level to Wichita Falls, and he's going to be the guy that leads us as we start our quest for conference and league championships. So I'd like to introduce James Kerwin, head coach.
Thanks again for the opportunity to be here today in Wichita Falls, and obviously want to thank Drew and Terry for giving us the opportunity here to coach in a great community. And I was sold on this a while back when I met with them. This community they love football, and it breeds football, and it spoke to me that they're starting for something awesome here in Wichita Falls, and that was the first thing that I noticed when I came here. And with my experiences being around the league, specifically the indoor football league, there's a lot of that type of community presence in a lot of these cities you'll be in. But I see that more here, and I see that there's a yearning for that here in Wichita Falls. So, of course, that led me to take on this opportunity to finally have a chance to build a program from scratch, and having an opportunity to work with Coach Miller here. And him and I have been together in the past. We've worked together in Omaha as co-head coaches, and that's kind of how I look at us. We both lead from the top. And when you have somebody that's got your back and got another pair of eyes as far as evaluating talent and putting the right team on the field, then that's a good thing to have. Also, I'm excited to see that we get the hospital staff and the training staff on board. It's huge. It's essential for our success on the field and off the field. And that's going to be a huge partnership, and it's something that's going to be communicated on a daily basis. This journey has been a great journey as far as the IFL is concerned. I think that Drew made a great decision in being in this league. As a representative and been in this league for a while, you're going to find this to be one of the most competitive leagues you'll ever find, as far as like moving guys and developing guys to move on to the next level. Each team that you see come into Wichita Falls is going to be very competitive. It's a very competitive football league, and we've had guys that have experiences that have gone on to the CFL, gone on to the NFL, and obviously there's a lot that have gone on to the Arena Football League. So that's part of our big message here. That's part of what we're trying to do, is develop athletes, develop fan experience, and integrate those two things. So I'm not sure if there's some questions you guys might want to have, or you want to talk to Coach Miller, or anything specific. Do you have anything you want to add on that, Coach?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, I just want to reiterate the fact that we're glad to be here. As a staff, like I said, me and James have worked together before, and been around a long time, been in this league as well, and been in the AFL for a long time. You understand and know good situations and good organizations, and I can tell you, definitely for a person that's been at the top indoor league, this is a great organization. We're going to do a lot of good things for the community. We're going to believe in the community, and all we ask in return is that the community believes in us, to give us a chance, and I promise you, you'll enjoy what you see and what you get. That's all I got to say.
We wanted to. We have a couple other announcements. We've waited a long time to announce our head coach. We've also waited a long time to announce tryouts, and we've got a tryout date set for November 15th here in Wichita Falls, and we're asking athletes to come out. I'll have James talk about kind of the process for that, but we're going to ask athletes. We've signed some athletes. We've signed players. We've got 5 guys scouting and recruiting players from all over the country. We want the best talent in Wichita Falls, but we also know we have a lot of great talent right here in our own backyard. And we want those guys to come out. We want guys to show what they can do on the field. And these guys are going to take a good look at them. They're going to work them out. They're going to evaluate their talent. And the best man will play on the field. So if you can kind of mention some of the details on that.
Absolutely. So as Drew mentioned, the trial will be November 15th. The process, basically, the recruiting process is a couple different things. Obviously, we've had success in the past with tryouts. And like Drew had said, we like to find local talent and go from that point. Obviously, for us to be successful, we gotta recruit coast to coast. We have relationships with agents, we have relationships with other teams, we have relationships in the NFL, CFL, all over the place, of the guys, the kind of caliber that are trying to get back to that situation for development. But obviously, I know that in Wichita Falls, and in doing my research and talking to a lot of people around here, there's a lot of talent here. And obviously, we want to see that talent. And we got a lot of spots open. The way the process works for the tryout, it's a basic combine tryout. You see, like on the NFL, we'll do a 40, we'll do the L drill, the shuttle drill, we'll do some different football skill work, making sure a lot of guys are getting the right combination of working one-on-ones or two-on-two, whatever type of situation. Quarterback's going to get a lot of work. So everybody's going to have an opportunity to get their time's worth as far as our tryout is concerned. But it's a great opportunity for us to evaluate players. We're going to film that. So it's not just, we're going to be there at the tryout and then make a decision right there. We'll go back and watch film, because really sometimes you miss a lot of things when you're out there watching guys just the first time. You want to go back and reevaluate the film and make sure you're making a good decision, because we really need to find the right people to play here in Wichita Falls. And I think it's a great opportunity for us, for sure.
Great. One more announcement, kind of one of my favorites probably, is I've been waiting a long time to be able to say we can sell tickets. And tomorrow morning at the store, people can come in and buy tickets from us, season tickets. We'll be selling those. We're going to start off by selling them in person first, because there's a little bit of a process of what we'll have to do as far as assigning tickets. There was a little bit of hang up as far as season tickets being assigned by the box office. So we're going to do that all in-house. So you can come in and talk to the coaches, talk to our staff, and we'll walk you through the process, show you kind of where you're going to be sitting, and go through that. So that's an exciting announcement for me. I'd like to open it to any questions you guys may have for me, any of the staff, anybody in here.
Have you guys reached out to any of the former Nighthawk players about coming back? We've seen a few of the signings online, but any others?
Drew's had some great relationships with those guys, and I know there's been a lot of conversation with them. For the few that we've talked to, I think there's going to be some more communication. Obviously, I'd like to see those guys come out and work out with us. Cause that gives us more of a, because we're not from here, we hadn't seen them play before, and there's limited film on some of those individuals. We certainly want to see them perform in a trial situation, in a workout.
Yeah, absolutely. There's inherent benefit for me to have local players, because we don't have to pay for housing. We do pay for player housing through the season. So if the guys are local, that's an expense we don't have. So there's certainly an advantage in that. But the best man plays on the field. The directive to the coaches is the best man plays on the field. So that's our model. We want to have a championship winning program here.
And it's really important, I think, also to have as much community involvement as we possibly can. And if there's guys here that can compete at that level, certainly that'd be the first thing we're going to try to do, is get them involved in our program.
In your experience, just how difficult is it building up as an expansion team at this level?
It is difficult. And I go back to the point that this league is very, very competitive, top to bottom. There really isn't a weak link in this league. I mean, we're starting off our first game against, I believe they were in the conference championship last year, and we played against them last year, and they're talented top to bottom. So it's a very important process of putting together a team that's comprised of guys that have had some experience and guys that hadn't had that experience, are extremely hungry to get to that level. So that part of it, it's difficult, but we've been through this before, and it's a fun process. It's a fun process putting the team together, and there's no preconceived ideas on how the league is, so they'll go out there and they'll ball as hard as they possibly can.
A lot of the players in this league, does it bring in a lot of like Division I level players, or is it more kind of D2 small college guys? What's the general makeup?
It can range. We've had guys that have been at the top level of Division I football that have been in NFL camps, that have actually played in the NFL, down to schools you've never even heard of before. And some that haven't even played college football. And I know Drew wanted me to highlight one situation, one example in Omaha. Through a tryout, I had a guy that tried out for us that hadn't even played a down of college football. Ran into some situations where he couldn't go to college, had a family at a young age, decided he wanted to come back out and play football. And he was extremely talented in the tryout. We brought him on, we signed him, and he ended up being a great defensive lineman for us for about 3-4 years, and actually been an all-league player for us. So, it ranges all over the place. And our big sell here, for us is about developmental situations. So we're trying to find guys that are hungry to move on to that next level. it's kind of a two-tiered thing. One, they maybe get an opportunity to go to the NFL, CFL, or AFL, or two, they can use this as an opportunity to expand in their, whatever their career might be. If it's something they want to, they're in some sort of a business, or if they're in sales, or if there's something they want to do beyond football, it's a chance for them to get into the community, meet the people that make those decisions in the community. It gets them integrated in doing those kind of things. And so it's motivated two different ways. But certainly from our standpoint, we want to find the guys that are hungry and want to be developed and move on to the next level.
That's one point I want to add on to and kind of talk about is, we talk about development, and he probably is focused more on development on the field and development of guys as players. I look at guys and we're developing them as people. Nobody's going to play any level of football past probably their 40s. There might be a few guys that play into their 40s, kickers, but everyone has a life outside of football, after football. And that's one of the things I want to really look at and develop, because that's part of the community aspect is we're developing these guys as people. We're developing them as community advocates. So they really will be a part of Wichita Falls. In 5 years, I really, my vision for the organization is people look around and think, I can't imagine what Wichita Falls was like before the Nighthawks were here. Every time you go to a nonprofit event, every time you go to any type of event that benefits the community, there are the Nighthawks, and they're there serving and serving proudly at schools, reading, at food banks, gathering food, doing those kinds of things. So that's kind of the vision of the organization. And I've said several times that the mission of the Wichita Falls Nighthawks is not necessarily football. Football is the engine that carries that mission. And if you've ever flown, the engine's a pretty integral part of an airplane. You don't do anything to skimp on the engine. So the engine will be fine-tuned, and that's why we've put the team together that we have. We're going to have a very good football team. And we want to take that football team and do great things in the community. So, I kind of wanted to talk about two levels of development as far as players and people that we'll be doing.
And that's the exciting thing about this level of football is as a coach, I enjoyed the high school level and I've enjoyed the small college level because you find those guys that are hungry. It's a different kind of mentality when you're coaching these guys. It's kind of the same thing with this. I mean, some of these guys got a chip on their shoulder. Some of them, felt they didn't get the right situation when they were working out for the NFL, and they want to use this as a catapult in that aspect. And then you find others who are really motivated about moving on in their career, whether it's coaching, whether it's sales, whatever they're trying to do. So it's kind of an interesting scenario when you're dealing with this level. And that's the kind of guys we want guys that are hungry, guys that want to be developed, and they're going to be in the community. They're going to be going to the schools. They're going to be going to the restaurants. You're going to see them all over the place, and they're going to be a big part of what we do in this community.
Any other questions?
It's probably important to point out, just as an education, that we only have 24 players. Also, traditional outdoor football has 53 or so. So it's really working down tighter, the quality individual both on and off the field.
Right. And the one thing, too, it's good you made that point. With a 24-man roster, the first 24 guys we recruit aren't going to be the same 24 guys when you end the season. It could be a number of reasons why. Obviously, injuries. Guys that get an opportunity to move up. Some guys, this isn't for them. Some guys don't work out on the field. There's a lot of different things that can happen between that time. So what's really big for us is our relationships. Like for example, you get a tryout. A lot of times you find that second tier of athletes that, hey, you're a phone call away from playing on Saturday night. Here's one injury away. It's different because we can't carry 53 guys that we have a practice squad with and we can pull them up. There's guys we got to get on the phone with. It could be a Monday or a Tuesday. Hey, we got to get you in here, get a physical, get into practice. We're going to play you on Saturday. That's how quick some of those things work. So that's a unique situation with that roster for
And that's exactly the Kurt Warner story.
Yep.
Everybody know Kurt Warner, Super Bowl winning quarterback, was sacking groceries.
Yep.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of great stories, and a great IFL story that I had personal situation with is Fred Jackson. Fred Jackson played up in Sioux City, was making $225 a week, and used this opportunity. He came from a small college, College, Division III school in Iowa. Nobody really knew who he was. Had the opportunity to go to NFL Europe. Took the best of that ability and tried out with the Bills, and the rest is history. So there are guys that have played in this league that have used this as a way. And the CFL's been a big one, and so has the AFL. So there's a lot of great opportunities.
Any other questions?
Do you mind just give us a spelling on each coach's name, just to make sure we have that right?
Yes, James Kerwin, J-A-M-E-S-K-E-R, Win, W-I-N. And then Roderick Miller, Rod Miller, R-O-D-R-I-C-K.
Correct.
No E.
No E.
He promised me I could add any if it added any wins. Miller, Miller.
I got a question for you guys. Are you excited?
Yes.
I gotta hear something.
Great. Thank you very much for coming out.
Thank you.